Welcome back to another video edition of Territory Talk, the official podcast of the Panthers, presented by our friends at Baptist Health. Doug Plagans, Jamison Olive here with you as always, joined by a man who needs no introduction, Panthers captain Aleksander Barkov here with us. Thanks very much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Well, we haven't done a video edition of Territory Talk. It's been about, 4-6 weeks or so. Yeah. Ryan Lomberg was the last video edition of Territory Talk, so this is not something we do for just anybody. So big shoes to fill for you here.
Sasha, I mean, this feels like a good time to get you on the podcast. We haven't talked to you in a bit, but I got to ask, this is season 10 for you. We've both pretty much been there the whole time. We've seen you grow over the years, but just for yourself, does it feel like 10 seasons in the NHL at this point?
It definitely doesn't feel like 10 seasons, but it does feel that I've been here for a little while. Like, of course, time goes by really fast. Like, teams change, guys change in the organization, but it still feels like it hasn't been 10 years, like pretty much like 2 or 3 years. I still remember my first year, like I remember a lot of stuff from there, so it feels like it was yesterday.
And obviously, those first couple of years are big learning years. You're learning a ton of new stuff every day, especially for you coming over from Finland, just learning the culture over here, just how to get around, all those things. But now you've been here 10 seasons. What's the day-to-day lessons like when you come to the rink?
Yeah, you know what, like, of course, that time I was still learning about, like, navigating to the rink and like navigating where I live and stuff like that, like learning what kind of people here is. But I'm still learning about, like, mostly about hockey, learning something every day. Like, we have like new people in this organization, so learning about them, learning about systems, about that stuff. So it's always learning. It's never gonna stop.
And you've been here 10 years now, but it seems like you felt pretty at home here in Florida pretty quickly. What's it meant to, just look at this area as a home for you now for a decade?
Yeah, I'm really fortunate that I've been here. I got to be here. Like, I got drafted here by this organization, by this place. It's an unbelievable place to be, to live. Not enough good things to say about it. You have everything you need. You have good weather 99% of the time. So there's no, like, you can't really complain about anything here. And team made me, like, welcome me really well right away, like gave me a really good chance. My first couple of years, even when I wasn't playing well, still gave me a good chance. And now I'm here and still learning and still trying to be better every day. And yeah, like I said, it never stops. Like, I'm just the same guy, just a little older and trying to get better every day.
When you first got here, everyone was kind of spread out in terms of living. There was guys in Boca at the time, Fort Lauderdale, out here out west. Now it seems like you only really have out west Parkland and Fort Lauderdale, and you by yourself are holding down Boca now these days. Are you in Boca for good? Obviously, there's a new practice rink opening up downtown. Any thoughts about moving ever, or do you love being the guy in Boca?
Yeah, I love Boca a lot. It's really calm there, and I know some coaches were there last year, but not right now. I'm by myself. I know a lot of former Panthers players live there. Jova lives there, and so I get to see him once in a while there. And I like Boca. I don't mind a little drive. Like, it takes me 35 minutes here, and probably same thing to the new practice rink. So yeah, I don't mind it at all. Like, as long as I like to live there. And
what's the drive like? We all drive a lot down here. You usually have probably 30 minutes, I'm guessing, between Boca and here. How do you spend that time? Yeah. Whether it's coming to a game, after a game. Obviously, I'm sure a lot of music, but you just a lot of time to think, I assume, too.
Yeah, for sure. And yeah, of course, coming here, it's mostly highways, so you need a little music or something going on. But I think where the new practice rink gonna be, you don't have to drive the highway. You can go like Ocean Avenue or Federal, yeah. So that's going to be nice.
A couple things on that. First, I think a lot of the folks out there probably want to know, what kind of music are you listening to these days on that drive to and from?
Everything. Like, I don't have a specific thing that I listen to. Of course, I have my favorites like Kygo, like Pitbull, that kind of stuff, but they're pretty spread out. Like, it could be one day it could be some kind of rap, and then the next day it's going to be like electronic music.
Were you into Pitbull before you got here, or did you adopt that with South Florida?
No, I was into him a little bit before.
He was Finland. He was a big deal over there already. Yeah.
Yeah, he was huge deal, especially at that time when I got here. He was ruling the world.
Mr. 305. Yeah.
Exactly. And when I came here, I figured out why he's Mr. 305.
And something else I've always appreciated about you, and I want to know how you do it, because I know you're a guy that you like all sports. You follow everything. You keep your eye on a lot of stuff, and you're just one of those guys. You just love sports. The NHL schedule obviously is pretty demanding. How do you find time to follow everything? And after hockey, I know you like racing. I know you like basketball. What's the main thing you're keeping your eye on?
You guys gonna be surprised. I love darts.
What?
Yes.
Darts.
It's World Championships going on right now, and semifinals. DAZN.
Is that like a website?
It's an app,
Really?
streaming app. So it's huge deal in England. It's growing in like some parts of Finland, that's for sure. And I know it's growing in Czech, but for some reason it's not a big thing here. You guys think
We
it's
see it
a
at bars sometimes,
yeah.
but no one's doing it like competitively, really.
Yeah, I saw it 2 years ago. I started watching, like my friend Lefty showed me the darts, and they had huge like audience, thousands of people there singing, like soccer fans obviously, singing players' names, and the guys are just throwing darts, and that's when I fell in love, and I follow them a lot. So darts and obviously tennis for me is the main thing.
Well, a couple things on that. Well, first of all, I've seen your jumper around a basketball hoop. You're a natural athlete. I'm sure down the road, if you want to pursue a career in darts after hockey's over, it seems like something you could play for a long time. I have faith in you being able to put together a career in darts. Do you have a favorite dart player?
Michael Van Gerwen.
And now, tell us about Michael Van Gerwen. I gotta know.
Yeah, I guess he's like 33 years old now. He's from Netherlands, as you can figure out from his name. And yeah, he's pretty good. Like I guess he started very young. He was really good when he was young. Like he was beating already #1 players in the world, and he's still there. Like 33 years old, I think he still has like 30 more years in him. So yeah, he's exciting to watch.
If he showed up here, would you be a little starstruck? Like
For sure.
Really? Yeah. So
We got to find him.
we gotta find him. Yeah, we gotta get him to a game. We gotta get him over here.
Tweet this, share it with everybody. Let's get him out here.
Now, I've never seen a dartboard here at the arena or at the practice rink. Is there one we don't know about, or do you just keep this at home? You have a nice dart setup at home.
We have one in the locker room.
Yeah?
We set it up for this year, and of course I have a really nice one at home.
So who are the dart guys on the team?
Nobody yet, but we're working towards it.
Well, you also can't be too good off the bat because you're gonna scare them away. I feel like you gotta ease them in.
Yeah, I should miss the board once in a while to let them know that I'm playable.
Well, I want to ask, obviously, darts, racing, everything. We went through the list. I know a couple games ago, you met Logan Sargent, who's racing for Williams next year. Just what was that like, and when did you kind of get into racing? Because oddly enough, a lot of F1 drivers have come from Finland. You have Hakkinen, you have Räikkönen, Bottas is still there right now. What is it about Finland and racing?
It's a good question. Like in Finland, we actually have those speed limits that you can't really go over. So I don't know how all of a sudden in that country we have like fastest drivers in the world, but it's a big thing in Finland. Everybody's following Formula. Bottas is the #1 guy right now. Only one guy right now, but he is a legend. And Räikkönen was a legend. Hakkinen was a legend. Some other guys too. So yeah, and also it was really nice to meet the Sargent. I know he's a local guy, and really, really nice guy. Like it was easy to talk to him, and so yeah, hopefully see him in Miami.
Do you ever cross paths with any of those Finnish racers? I know probably when you do charity things back home. Do you ever see any of those guys?
No, I never met any of them, but would be nice to meet them.
And do you race at all? I mean, are you in the sim at all? Do you do anything like that?
No, I used to play a video game, Formula 1, but it's been a while now.
Now it's all darts.
No, it's all darts
so much
now.
time.
Yeah, I don't have much time.
You watch some NBA now too, right? I'd imagine. Everybody remembers that highlight a few years back when Dwayne Wade went flying over your head.
You can never get away from it. That's like attached to your career forever. It's a good thing though.
It's a good thing.
He's going to the Hall of Fame right now. You're a part of that. Yeah. It's big.
Who are you keeping your eye on in the NBA? I know your fellow countryman, Lauri Markkanen's having a nice year.
Oh yeah, him for sure, and then obviously Miami. I follow them a lot. I know a guy from there, not the player. Met him like pretty much my first year, and he's been helping me with tickets. So I know him very well and follow them a lot and stay in touch with him. They're really nice guys there, and I wish them all the best.
Lauri Markkanen, obviously, in a game of one-on-one probably takes you most times, but horse, do you think you could hold your own against Lauri Markkanen in horse?
No chance. He's an NBA player. I'm just a fan. So
you're a good shooter, though. We've seen you drill some shots over the years. Yeah, we've seen you shoot.
I need to be on my A+ game, and he needs to be on his F game.
Could you beat Lauri Markkanen in darts?
I can take him on darts.
That's the new barometer for everything now. We're going to have a charity tournament maybe in the summer where you just take on the world in darts. I think we'd raise a lot of money with that. But Sasha, taking it back to the ice, I want to go back. We talked about your whole career here, obviously, the 10 years. A big part of that was when Jaromir Jagr was here. I don't know if you followed the news, but he actually got back into a game, I think it was a week or so ago, at 50. I think he had an assist, looked pretty good.
Assist on the power play.
Does that surprise you at all?
Honestly, nothing surprises me about him anymore. So, yeah, he has like 5 games, 5 points since coming back, and I've heard a lot of things that he might be done, but I guess not. So it was kind of surprising that he came back, but putting up numbers, it's not surprising for him.
Is there a part of your game still maybe that you credit to the time that you spent with him and the things you were able to pick up from playing with him and watching him go about his business every day?
I think just like putting the work in is the main thing that came from him. There's a lot of good things that he did on the ice, like protecting the puck. His shot was unbelievable, like vision and that kind of stuff. Like, of course, I'm not gonna not gonna be like him ever, but I can always work on it. I can always get better at that, and that's what he taught me. Like, if you want to be the best, you need to work more than anybody else, and that's what I'm trying to do. Like, of course, some days a little tired, not able to do them, but most of the days have to push through.
When people know we work for the Panthers, one of the first things I always ask is, were you there when Jagr was there? And then if so, do you have any good Jagr stories? Do you personally have maybe one really good Jagr story that stands out?
Yeah, there's a lot. Like, this is short. I can tell you a few, but this is short one. Like, whenever home game, you come to the rink like 3 hours before the game, you're already like 30 minutes in the car, blasting music, ready to go. He comes in, his hair is like all over the place, just woke up from 4-hour nap. He's like, Barky, don't pass me that puck tonight. and then I'm like, okay, what should I do then? Then I go tell Hubie that we're not passing the puck to Jagr tonight. And then like 10 minutes before the game, he comes to me and, Barky, pass me the puck tonight. I feel good. So yeah, he was always like that. He was always loose, but at the same time, all business. He wanted to be better. Like, we would have tough shifts, tough game going on in second period. Coach would come and yell at us to get going, and then he would be like, "Don't worry, guys, we're gonna score 1 and we're gonna be the heroes." And then we keep playing bad. We score 1 goal, we win the game, heroes. So yeah.
Well, for you, you've had a chance to play between Jaromir Jagr, obviously an all-time great, and Roberto Luongo just going to the Hall of Fame. 2 great players, Hall of Fame guys, great characters in the sport, and with Lou still being here and still being a part of the organization, what was it like for you to see him, get honored and go into the Hall of Fame?
Yeah, it's great. He definitely deserves every credit he's had after the career, like banner raised and his jersey retired and Hall of Fame and everything else that he's gonna get. He deserves. He was really good, and he was a big how do you call it, like example for me and for all the young guys and for whoever who came here when he was playing. Like, his work ethic and his dedication to the game, and at the same time, like, he just like Jagr, he was loose, he was funny. I didn't have Twitter, but I guess he was really funny there too. And so yeah, like, guy like that who works really hard every day and at the same time keeps things loose is a really good guy to have in the team.
Did you ever do fantasy football in a league with him? Because obviously I know that's one of his specialties.
Yeah, I was there I think 2 or 3 times.
How'd it go?
I'm auto draft guy.
Auto draft, checking at the end, see what happens.
Yeah. Did you play this year fantasy football?
I did play, and I think I was like 3-7, and then I stopped checking.
We always hear the chatter
Yeah.
on the bus. Is it all one league? Are there some separate leagues based on like level of intensity about it?
No, we had one as a team, and then of course guys would have like some with their friends. I don't really have friends who follow American football, and I was kind of forced in that league as well. So
You're the captain. You got to be a part of it.
yeah, I was forced in that league, so I had to be there, and I got out of draft because I don't really know too many players. So
Until there's fantasy darts,
yeah,
that's when you'll come take over.
Market cornered on
Berkey, I got to take it back to the ice again for 1 second, just because a couple more questions here. First game back the other night, you had a hat trick, you had 5 points. That's great in and of itself, but that also meant, I believe, $6,400 for Joe DiMaggio's, because you do your donations every year for your goals and your assists. I think the last couple years, a couple $100,000 with all the points and goals you've been putting up. Just what does that mean in terms of your day-to-day being a hockey player, giving back? And I know I've been with you to Joe D's once. You were just there with a couple other guys for the holidays. Just how special is just your relationship with Joe D's?
yeah, it's great for me. Yeah, it all started like 2-3 years ago, and ever since, like I know there's at least like one extra thing that I'm playing for and trying to play better. And all those guys who work there, I met them. I like them a lot. They're really heroes for what they do, and trying to save lives and trying to take care of the kids. And it's an amazing place for. I know you never want to get there, but if you're like unfortunate and you have to go there, they take really good care of you, and they make you feel like you're not at home but something close to that. So they're doing a really good job. So I'm really honored to at least do something for them.
And I've been there with you, like I said, when you're there, you're a rock star. I know all the kids love seeing you, and the little barky teddy bears are great. So that's just, huge stick tap to you. That's huge what you do in the community. But the last one for me, I feel like we've had you on a couple times. We've had Lundell on a couple times. We always like to talk a little bit about Finland. This is a very Finnish team here in South Florida with you, Etu, Lundy, the list goes on.
And we still talk about our trip to Finland there a few years back. We talk about it all the time. It probably comes up once a week in conversation.
When you go through typical Finnish things, we've talked about chocolate with Lundy, the Karlfreiser. We love that.
Hesburger.
We talked about Hesburger in the past. With you in the past, we talked about saunas and sauna culture. I know you have a sauna back there home. But one other thing, if you Google what is Finland known for, one of the top things on the list, I don't know if you know about this, but I assume you do, is Moomin. So tell me a little bit about Moomin, because Moomin looks like the top maybe cartoon or kids cartoon in Finland, and it looks like it's a huge deal, there's merchandise, it's a big deal, but I've never seen you rock a Moomin shirt or anything like that.
No, I think it's more like a kids thing. Mm-hmm. So you're probably not gonna see me wearing Moomin shirt.
But did you grow up with it? Were you into Moomin growing up?
I wasn't really into that, but I knew that it's existing somewhere in Finland, and I know they have whole island dedicated for them.
Like a theme park?
Yeah, not like Disneyland or Universal, but where they film all their whatever they do, and then statues and stuff. Their house, that little rounded house with the thing, it's all there. I haven't been. Maybe one day I'll get there.
I remember in Helsinki we saw a Moomin statue near the hotel. So I was one of these days I got to find out what's going on here. Other than that, is there one thing maybe you're really proud of from Finland that the fans don't know about or we haven't talked about? The reindeer. I mean, the holidays just passed.
Am I proud about reindeer? Yeah, I mean, I'm proud to be a Finn. So it's a great country, and I love spending time there. I'm really happy that I grew up there, and so yeah, I have nothing bad to say about Finland. So I'm proud Finn.
Well, we love Finn. We're proud Finnish guests. We like to
Yes,
visit guests.
I would love to go back someday.
we gotta make it back.
The
Yeah,
Karlfreiser chocolate, that stuff. I think I filled up half a suitcase with that stuff when we went out there. Couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah, there's tons in the locker room.
Oh yeah.
That's good stuff. Panthers captain Aleksander Barkov, kind enough to stop by here on a video edition of Territory Talk. And as I mentioned, this isn't something we do for everybody, but for the big-time guests, Ryan Lomberg, yourself, Territory Talk video edition, we thank you very much for stopping by.
I appreciate it. Thank you.